Hello and welcome to Rooted in Yad, where I talk about what it's really like living in Jamaica so that you can know what to expect and how to thrive. And today is the last part of my series on the frustrations that you will experience while living in Jamaica. Parts 1 to 3 will be in the description in the comments if you want to watch those afterwards. As a reminder, okay, I did not create this series to scare you or frustrate you in advance. I created this to help you prepare because there's certain things you're going to experience, and instead of you being frustrated or I don't know, experiencing a lot of culture shock or something like that, I'm trying to prepare you in advance so that you can come here and thrive, or at least feel a lot more better off. Okay, so let's get into it. I guess the 10th thing, that just something else that you might get frustrated by if you're not prepared, are some of the cultural differences. And I mean a couple, I don't know, 2 or 3 things. I mean a different bunch of different things here. So one thing that you need to be aware of is that Jamaica is a very Christian place, a very conservative Christian place, okay? Despite what you might see in some videos, Jamaica is Jamaica has a very conservative Christian mindset, okay? Christianity is like the largest religion in Jamaica. And then I think next to that is Islam. You might think, oh, what about Rastafarianism? Rastafarianism is not that big in Jamaica as far as I understand. In fact, in the past, there was a lot of, in the past, Jamaica actually looked down a lot on Rastafarians, okay? So it's not, and in fact, even in the past, I don't know if it's still now, but even in the past, like, apparently kids here, they couldn't go to school with their hair locked, they couldn't get a job if they had locks. Like, it's just things like that. It was, I don't know, very weird. Maybe a Jamaican, who was born here would know more history on that. But Rastafarianism is not the biggest religion here. Christianity is. So I mention this because if you are not Christian, okay, you need to understand that there are a lot of policies and thought frameworks that will be coming from a conservative Christian worldview, right? When you live here, like, you're going to notice certain thoughts and mindsets and stuff. That's where that's coming from, which means, okay, that it's a more patriarchal society, and then because of that, it has impacts in like different. There are impacts in different things like dating, okay, which I'm going to talk about that in other videos, but then there's also this expectation of modesty in certain places, and just like a mentality of modesty in general. Like, okay, people do whatever they want, they'll wear whatever they want, but like there's this expectation of modesty in general. And okay, because Jamaica the culture is very conservative Christian, they are generally not, Jamaica's generally not very accepting of those in the LGBTQ plus community, which means if you are part of that community, they expect you to keep it hush-hush, okay, and keep it to yourself. I mean, I think lesbians, they're more accepting of. I feel like in a lot of patriarchal societies, I don't know if it's because men don't see lesbian relationships as real things. I don't know. But in terms of that, like, I feel like they're more accepting of lesbians. And in terms of gay men, if you're a gay man and you are a black gay man, like, I'm being serious, keep that hush-hush. If you want to live here, keep that hushed. Like, I understand, like, there are people in that community who do exist here, right? They live here, they grew up here, they were born here, they do exist here. But the thing is, Jamaica is very hostile towards gay men, right? So if you're not used to that, that is something that can and will frustrate you. And again, if you are part of the LGBTQ plus community, from what I understand, just in general, you want to keep that to yourself. They are very heterosexual focused here. Now, another thing that can frustrate you is the culture of classism, okay? So being a predominantly black country, Jamaica is not racist, but Jamaica is classist, meaning if you aren't well dressed or you don't look as put together, sometimes people will very clearly look down on you or treat you differently. I mean, on the other hand, if you're not black, okay, especially if you're white, that also means that you will get better treatment in general, because white or like not black persons, when people see someone who's white or someone who's not black, they will generally think that person's a tourist, which means that person has money, right? Because again, because your skin color, you're the most immediate thought will be that you're a tourist. Now, for people of my complexion or darker, people here will notice that you're a tourist based on how you are dressed, and then obviously on how you talk. That'll definitely be clear. But sometimes it doesn't matter, because to some people here, being our complexion, to them, that means that you don't have money. And therefore, that means they shouldn't spend much time chatting with you or helping you, because you're not going to be able to give them money. It's not the mentality of everyone here, but it's the mentality of quite a few people here. So I'll give an example. Back in 2013 or 2014, I came to Jamaica and stayed at Gloriana Hotel here in Montego Bay. As a heads up, please just don't stay there, okay? Like, you're gonna hear my experience, but I would never recommend anyone staying there. Like, maybe they've changed, but back then they were just like a grubby, horrible hotel. I don't even know how they still remained in business, but anyway. So the thing was, I came to Jamaica with my mom and her friend, and we were staying there, okay? Now, in the evening, we left from that hotel and went to Margaritaville I think we went to dinner and then went to Margaritaville to have some fun, and then we walked back to the hotel. Now, when we walked back to the hotel, though, the security wouldn't let us in. It was a black man, and he wouldn't let us in. And yeah, it was because we were black, and I guess we were not dressed well enough. Like, he could clearly hear our accents to hear we are not from there. We're not from there. We're not from here. You know, we explained we just left to go do this and that, but like, our hotel is here, all of our stuff is here, whatever. No, he didn't want to let us in. But you know, the white people who were walking, they were let in no issue with no question. So this is why I'm saying, like, it's not really racism, it's classism, or I don't know, maybe there's also colorism, there's that included as well. But I have also heard stories, okay, of people, black people from foreign, going into, let's say, like shops and stuff here, and sometimes the attendants or the people working there will ignore them, right? I guess because of how they are dressed. Like, I guess they didn't look like they had money. They didn't look, I guess, well put together enough, so they were ignored. And the people literally had to like be in the person's face, like, what the hell? I'm right here. Like, there's I don't know her channel. There was one young lady I was watching who specifically talked about that, and it got to the point, like, she lived here for years. I think she's still here, and it got to the point that she said she started making herself look more put together in her day-to-day, so that people here would treat her better, right? So that's just something to keep in mind. Maybe you won't have that problem, but that's something to keep in mind. And then, you know, the experience I mentioned that I had, it's just something to keep in mind, okay? Now, the last thing I want to mention here for culture is that Jamaica is a more communal place, right? But when this is mixed with capitalism and individualism, it's like, because Jamaica is like follow fashion to things in the US, all of that core mingles into a very frustrating experience. So what I mean is that this turns into things like, you have to know somebody in order to like get a good job, or like buy a nice home, or buy like a newer home, or just you have to know somebody to just get things done, because again, it's communal, so like people are expected to know each other and help each other. But then there's that Western individualistic capitalistic mindset of it just, the way it mixes in, that's what it turns into. As well as sometimes these people who are in these positions of power, where like you have to know them in order for them to get things done for you, and they know that, okay? Sometimes these people can lord it over your head and kind of have an ego trip if they want to, right? Because they know that you need them in order to get certain things done. And that results in a lot of kissing of behinds, and it can be very annoying. It can just be very annoying and very frustrating, because it's like, hey, you're human, I'm human. We both have to like sit on the toilet to defecate. What's the difference? But they have to go on their eco trip. So all that to say, Jamaica is absolutely not a place that you can come to and live here by yourself, right? And like be completely by yourself. Like, I don't mean that you can't come here and if it's just you alone, you can't come here and live. What I mean is, don't expect to come to Jamaica and just like, let's say when I'm in Canada, if I'm in Canada, I don't have to know anybody to do anything really. Like, I can go do certain things by myself. I can navigate all the processes by myself. I can go sign up for a bank account by myself. Like, I don't need to know anybody really to get things done. In Jamaica, that is not so, okay? For example, now the Jamaican government has said this is no longer required, but that doesn't mean the banks won't require it. For example, in order for you to get a Jamaican bank account, or to get a bank account in Jamaica, they are going to want, I don't know if it's one reference or two references, but they're going to want a reference from somebody who is at that bank and who has a good standing account with that bank. Like, they're gonna want references. And as I said, this is no longer legally required, but it's at the bank's discretion, and 9 times out of 10, they are going to require it just because, right? So what that means is like, you end up coming here and being forced to network with people, not really for the sake of knowing people, but just for the sake of getting results. And some people, maybe they're fine with that, but like, I've always hated networking in general for that purpose, because I find it slimy. Like, for me to get to know you for the specific purpose of trying to get something done, like, it just feels so disingenuous. And I'm like, I'd rather not know you at all. If we're gonna have a disingenuous relationship, I'd just rather not know you. But this is how it is here, and I guess that relates to the greasing somebody's palm thing I mentioned in the last video, and in the corruption and stuff. So I mean, now if you're coming from a culture similar to Jamaica's in that way, like, you'll be fine. But if you're coming from somewhere like Canada or something, like, I found this frustrating. Yeah, so my tip here for this point is to, one, if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community, to keep things to yourself, okay? Keep things hush hush, at least until you meet other people here who are part of that community, and then they can show you what's up. But other than that, you got to keep it hush hush to yourself. And then the next thing is to dress more respectfully when you go out. I mean, I don't know, I go out like this in my dress, whatever, wear whatever you want, but just keep that in mind. The classism is there. So if you want someone to take you seriously, you're gonna have to dress in a way to have someone take you seriously, essentially. And then the next thing is just to network with people, get to know people. I mean, I find it easy to get to know people here. People are generally, like, they're very friendly, very chatty. A lot of Jamaicans, it's just very good vibes. So it's not like difficult to get to know people if you want. At least that's how I feel. But for you, just get to know people, because you're going to need to get to know people just to navigate some of these processes. Like, you're not even going to know sometimes like what should be the way it should be, how long it should take. So it's just, you're gonna have to get to know people in general in order to just navigate living here sometimes. Okay, so that is it for today. I'm ending it here. I have more points, but I'm gonna end it here for the sake of conciseness. And I will just release the next part, and that'll be the official last part. So I intend that this video was helpful for you. I hope that you found this video helpful or informative, or at least entertaining. If you did, do let me know. As well as, don't forget to get your freebies, okay, on my site, rootedinyard.com or market.rootedinyard.com. These freebies are to help your transition to move here go more smoothly. And also, if you're a Jamaican or you're living here, I'd like to know from you. Is there anything else that you think people should be aware of in terms of the frustrations and like how they can deal with them? If so, do let me know in the comments, because I think that people would like to know, and I would also like to know, because that would probably help me, because I still experience things here. And if if you are planning to move here, okay, just a quick plug. If you're planning to move here, I am creating a Moving to Jamaica starter guide. I don't know if it'll be out at this point, but right now, at the point of me creating this video, it is available for pre-order, okay? The point of this guide is to help give you information all in one place about moving to Jamaica, so that you can move here a lot more, you can transition here a lot more smoothly. You don't have to go pick piece from this video, that video, that video. Everything is all in one place for you. And it'll even have information that I haven't yet talked about in these videos. So it'll have all that information will be in there. Again, it'll be available for pre-order. It'll actually only be $10 for pre-order. Once the guide is complete, the price will go up, but it is available for pre-order for $10. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and go to the site and order your starter guide, as well as if you want to connect with others, or if you just want to, have chat with me or something. I do have a membership. I have a Rooted in Yard membership. This in particular is a supportive space, okay, for people like you who are moving or want to move to Jamaica. I just want to connect all of us together. We are all going to have live chats, either weekly or bi-weekly, whatever you guys want. You guys can ask questions, or we can just vibe and chill and just get to know one another. As well as there's going to be a community where you can connect with each other. I mean, I guess you'll connect with each other in the call too. You'll have access as well to all of my videos, access as an early access, and then you will have prompts. You will have prompts to kind of like help you think through certain things when it comes to your move here. So if that's something you're interested in, go to rootedinyard.com or market.rootedinyard.com. Either one, you should be able to access the membership and get started. Okay, so that is it. If you like this content, you like this stuff, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so that you don't miss the next videos, and make sure to turn the notifications on so that you don't actually miss the next videos. Yeah, and just stay tuned if you are interested in hearing more. In the meantime, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.